Hello and welcome to the Rollers and the Rockers podcast brought to you by Bankwest. My name is Hayley Miller and I'm joined by my wonderful co-host. She's struggling a little today, Emma Drisco, so I don't know how this is going to go. How are you feeling? How are you going?
I'm not well. No, I'm fine. I'm
honestly,
fine.
you look like you had a big night, to be fair, with your sunglasses on.
Yeah,
but no,
I
you
know.
haven't. You're an athlete and all.
Thought I'd make a big entrance and take them off. But yes, I have been in shambles. I've kicked the table 3 times, wrapped the cord around my foot, and Brett's mad because the cameras have moved. So that's phenomenal.
You're also late. You've been so good.
I know. Late when we're actually at the one place. How?
Yeah, I know.
I had a meeting
easy
actually.
for you to get
I did
here.
have a meeting, but that's fine. Don't worry about me.
Okay.
I'm here now, and if I slump down and you don't hear me for a few seconds, it's because I've passed away. Because I'm not well.
All right. And Mim has...
I'm back.
Mim has joined us. She's on a little producer's poof, is what we're calling it.
The puffet.
Yeah, great back support over here.
She may not last the whole podcast because her back's
I might
going to
just
be
walk
cooked.
out if that's okay.
She doesn't get the couch, though, because she's unreliable.
That's what happens.
I would actually like to note that I was here first, so I think I should claim the suite after everyone leaves. I think this should be mine.
Yeah, look, we are in a suite, which is much better than any of our rooms that we've actually got in Melbourne. 2 rooms, but they've stitched a little bit on the just the curtains to separate the rooms.
Yeah, it's a bit odd, but
It's odd.
thanks for doing this,
The
media team.
aircon's finally kicking in. It's about 1,000 degrees in here. Before we intro our guest, do you have a rating for Ari last week, Drisco?
I hate that I have the pressure. I reckon Ari's... Oh, the stories were pretty funny from her mum. Let's go an 8 out of 10.
An 8 out of 10. Great. Did you actually listen to it? I haven't listened to it.
I never listened to them back.
Well, we did one time, didn't we?
Yeah, we listened to the first one, which was terrible. And then
So
we
it's
got
only
better.
better. Yeah,
So it's
right.
like there's only one way, and that's to go up from here. And I just want to remember how fun it was in the time. Brett cuts all the good comments out.
Stuff out. Yeah, you do know that you gets rid of all the funny, inappropriate stuff.
Yeah.
All right, this week's guest, like a few of our previous guests, may need subtitles, although she is one of the easier of the Irish. I knew you'd love that to understand. Welcome, Joe Cregg. Now, before you speak,
Say her name.
Joe Cregg. I
You
just
said it really fast.
Sorry.
Joanne.
Joanne
It
Cregg.
actually does say Joanne
Does it?
Cregg.
Oh, it's funny how
Dr.
you're-
Joanne
okay,
Cregg,
yeah.
sorry, professional name. I was just going to say, you're allowed to just, let go on the podcast. You don't have to. We have noticed you've got a very you've got a media face that you put on, and you snap straight into this.
Okay.
Your walls go up, and it's you just let them down. You're on the couch,
Yeah.
Swing
chilling
wide
with
open,
friends, sweating in this sauna.
It's very warm.
We're all in this together. Whew, how are you going? Are you excited to be on the podcast?
It's grand.
Okay,
Which
so
kind of grand? Is it an actual
It's a good
grand or
No,
not
it's
the bad
comfortable.
grand?
Have a good day.
So we've been learning.
Could be the best day of my life. It's grand.
Not sure.
good. No, well, I think what Miller means by your media is that when you do media with the club,
Yeah.
you speak so well. So compliment to you,
Yeah,
like you
But
speak
when you meet
incredibly
me
well.
in the change room, I don't speak so well.
No,
Exactly.
no,
That's it.
you do. But we just thought we'd just keep it casual
Oh, yeah.
today.
Yeah, yeah.
You
But
speak
also,
really well, but just like really professional.
Oh, yeah,
You
yeah,
are a
yeah.
doctor, so we'll get into that.
you're a
but
smart lady.
There's a
but
reason why.
Today you don't have to be.
So I don't need to speak smart today. Is what you're saying.
You can be your real self. Your real
Thank you,
dumb
thank you,
self.
thank you.
You're
Oh,
right,
okay.
right
Yeah.
inside. I know that's
no,
where you're at.
Joe,
No.
really, yeah.
you do. You've started great,
Thanks,
and
Drisco.
just as long as you don't give us too. We actually thought we might get a bit out of you because we have some guests sometimes that don't speak, and then we're having to continue to probe. So
I'm
give
all
us as
yours.
much or as little as you want.
Whatever you want.
Okay.
You can have it.
Well, I feel like we've just spoken so far. Anyway, let's talk about. So we're in Melbourne for a week, living the life we love to live, as Drisco would say.
Living the life we love to live, but sick and late and sore.
Drisco's got a sore tummy,
So help.
everyone wants to know.
Yep.
and she's letting everyone know about it.
Yeah.
So my apologies. Burping's normal, everyone.
Anyway,
It
okay.
is okay.
So,
Okay.
Joe, what have
Yeah.
you been up to in Melbourne? Because that's not fun.
I've had a little bit of a sore tummy as well, but I
Oh,
haven't really been complaining about it.
It's
Are we
contagious.
okay? Mim, are you okay?
No, I'm all good.
Me too.
No. It's been good. I've been eating out a lot, drinking lots of coffee, hanging out a lot.
It's nice.
Amazing.
Is that why you got a sore tummy? It's too
Yeah,
much
probably
coffee.
too
And
much coffee.
Are you enjoying the full-time athlete life?
I am. Well, I'm
In
on
here.
holidays.
Yeah.
I'm on holidays from work, so at
Yeah.
the moment full time, so it's great. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, so good. How could you not? We're living at a hotel.
I know.
Yeah.
It's
How good.
Hanging out
incredible.
together
They
all the
come and
time.
make your bed every day.
Exactly.
good.
So good.
So
Fresh
good.
towels. What is this? I won't know what to do with myself when I go home.
Exactly.
Can I just dump my towels on the floor? Someone will come and pick them up. I love that.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
do that. I put them nicely.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
Now, Drisco, we did go down to Schnitz, so they have Schnitz just down outside the hotel. But we are campaigning for, so we're discussing the other day, so you can weigh into this as much as you like.
Yeah.
And Joe, we mentioned you're a doctor, so add your input, your professional input.
Yeah. So
Sounds
we
appropriate,
think,
yeah.
we feel like, so backstory, Schnitz have come out with this new thing called Schnuggets. So Schnitz, obviously nuggets, but they're just like little mini schnitzels. That's
chicken
basically
nuggets,
what a
yeah.
chicken nugget is.
Yeah.
But we feel like chicken nuggets have a bad rap for being unhealthy
Yeah.
and bad for you, but it's okay to have a schnitzel, a big chicken nugget, but not okay to have small versions of it.
Thoughts.
That's a really
Thoughts.
good point. I haven't really thought that much about this before coming here. Not going to lie, not prepped for this question. I have no idea. I think the meat in chicken nuggets is a lot more processed, isn't it?
Well,
Did you ever
yeah, it
watch that-
depends what kind of chicken nuggets, because we're talking like the Schnitz chicken nuggets are literally like
A mini chicken.
a mini chicken schnitzel, like actual chicken.
Because there was that documentary that like Jamie Oliver made. I don't know. Did you have that over here? I don't know. Where it was like he showed
We
the
do have
the
Jamie
fact-
Oliver here.
Oh right. Well, sorry. Where it showed the factory of how they make chicken nuggets. It was
Oh,
Yeah.
disgusting.
horrible.
Yeah.
Where's
But
that
then I
come
wonder
from?
how do they make the bigger ones anyways? Is it just the same way? Just
No, but it's like a big, no, they would flatten like a chicken breast. They'd like flatten a chicken breast.
Oh,
It's
is that how
a
you
proper.
make it?
It's like a proper.
This is
so
what
are these
saying.
just a little bit? Oh well, then sure it's just the same.
So
Yeah.
so we're saying like if the chicken nuggets say at not a non-fast food restaurant were just a mini chicken schnitzel, then go for your life. Have 12. It's good for
yeah,
you.
it's good for you. It's just like little bits of chicken.
Fair.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was a really great conversation we had the
I
other
don't know.
day.
Did you
We
have
must
some?
have had two brain cells
didn't.
left after
Yeah,
the
well, I think you
game.
need to try them.
We didn't have them. Yeah, that was
Try and
post game.
We post game 2 brain cells left. So let's talk about chicken nuggets because
And why they get a bad rap.
Talk
yeah,
about Anthem but the game.
anything.
Yeah,
but the game.
anything but the
and be
game.
negative about everything.
Now, I did get. Now, actually, I haven't even spoken to Lisa about this, but we were talking on
yeah.
her podcast about her squeaky shoes. You know, about the
Yes,
squeaky
everyone
shoe. They're
knows what squeaky
very
shoes, yeah,
squeaky.
it's very
Richard has written to me and said that Vaseline on the bottom edges of your orthotics apparently helps. So,
Oh, bit of Vaso.
but, all right, do we want to just quickly skim over the
No,
game?
Vaso on the
sorry,
shoes.
I don't know what else you want to say to that.
But what I don't understand the why would you want like a slimy texture
Yeah, I
rather
know.
than like a
Surely
talcum
that-
powder?
Surely it's not good for your shoes.
And is it the
Does it get
orthotics
mouldy?
that are causing the squeak? It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, wouldn't you
Surely
want to
it
stick
gets
them
mouldy.
down?
Yeah. I've no idea.
Although
don't know, but-
Vaseline's supposed to be good for like stopping blisters for like sliding.
The
in
rubbing.
It
shoes.
just gets rid of that.
Okay, quick
Thank you.
recap of the game. Feeling about that, Drisco.
Joe can start.
Okay,
Really?
Joe.
Can I?
She's our guest.
Okay.
All the hard questions we don't want to answer, you
Not
can.
great, but
Yeah.
some small good moments in it.
Yeah.
A lot less good moments than we would like.
Yes. That's
See?
nice.
Good. Well done. That's you
thanks.
can put on your good
Yeah.
media face for that. That's good. All right, moving on.
Oh,
Anyone
we're
else
not
got anything
moving
to
on.
say? I don't-
Mim,
Are
what
we
did
not?
you think?
I thought that was good.
I think I also have moved on from the game. Definitely hadn't moved on yesterday.
Yeah.
We were still feeling it, I think. But I think we need to look forward this week, wrap up that game and move on to Richmond.
I guess there's just lots to take from it. I think that obviously the review is done now, so we talk about ringing the bell. So definitely ring the bell to move on to Richmond, but we at least get some opportunities over here to obviously stay connected as a group. We've got a gym sesh today, and then we'll do our main training session tomorrow. So can go out there and work on those fundamentals that we need to get back to.
And only a 5-day break. That's the best
Yeah.
part about it. You
Yeah.
don't have to wallow in it for
Yeah,
too
it's
much
great.
longer.
Over it now.
You get to
I think we're just
Move on to
disappointed
this one.
in ourselves.
I agree.
Really, rather than the game itself, just disappointed our own performances.
Agree.
Individually and as a team.
definitely. All right, now it's all about you
fun.
for this part.
Love that.
You're obviously another Irish recruit. Tell us where you're from. And we had this fun game with Amy Mulholland about where she was from and trying to pronounce it. I
Yeah.
don't think yours is as
No.
hard as hers, but where are
I
you
don't
from?
think I'm from Roscommon.
Roscommon.
Yeah.
Do you know, I was talking to Anya about this yesterday and she says it very fast.
Yeah,
Roscommon.
Roscommon. Yeah, and I say it very fast
Yeah.
as well. So a lot of the time it gets abbreviated to just Scommon, which has been misinterpreted as
Scommon.
Scotland before. And I was like,
Oh.
not Scottish. So I'd say Scommon like that.
Yeah.
But I've learned since coming here when people ask, they're like, what? And I'm
Okay.
like, okay, Roscommon.
Common.
So just
Slow
Ross,
everything down
just
for
Ross.
Australians.
ROSS,
R-O-1-S and then common.
1S, common.
Common.
Easy.
Yeah,
Great.
easy.
I think we
Roscommon.
can
It's the heart of Ireland.
do that one. Oh, is it?
Well,
For real?
So
or
it's
just
not
the heart of
proclaimed
your
by
island?
Joanne. Yeah.
Your island, is it north or south?
It's Midland. West Midlands.
Oh, is that allowed?
So it's right. What? What? Is there allowed to be in the middle of a country?
Don't think so.
That's
I
what
think
say
you're
the heart
either.
of Ireland. No, it's bit to the west. It's beside Anya, beside lovely Leitrim.
Okay, I think you're either north or south though. Are you north
Sorry,
or south?
guys, I need a.
I suppose just north of Midland. That's a ridiculous.
there we
question,
go.
So you can't.
It's not ridiculous. Near Anya, Anya's
Yeah,
in Leitrim.
very close. Yeah, we're very.
She'll
close.
love that.
Yeah. Lovely Leitrim.
Little plug
Yeah.
there. Leitrim and Roscommon. Can
Yeah.
say those. Armagh, still working on.
Armagh, like
Armagh.
not my ma, your ma. Armagh.
Well, that's where it got confusing last
Yeah,
time.
that's where I was like,
And then
It's not
Lally's
Armagh.
from Meath, which is an easy one too.
Meath.
Meath's
easy,
easy.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the easiest.
You obviously played Gaelic back
Yeah.
in Ireland. Couldn't find much about that, to be fair. So
Oh,
you're going to have
fair.
to
Okay, cool.
give us the rundown.
We've actually just written down Gaelic background, hoping that you would elaborate on it.
What do you want to know?
Everything.
Real
Who'd you,
sport.
who'd you play for? Well, obviously,
My
we can go
club
through this
team-
again.
Yeah, my club team was called Michael Glavies. Most club teams in Ireland are like named after a person or a saint.
Michael
Ah.
Gloves.
Glavy.
Glavy. Glavy.
Glavies.
Michael Gloves. He's got great
Great
mitts.
gloves. We do wear gloves in Gaelic. He had the best ones.
Can take a catch.
Great pair of hands.
God.
And then my county that I played for was Roscommon, which is like playing kind of like waffle here.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Did you win some championships?
No, not great.
What age did you start then?
I started playing like under 10, under 12, and
Yeah.
then I started playing at a higher level probably when I was under 14 onwards. And then I played at the senior level for about 10 years before I retired from football before moving over here. We were always kind of like middle of the road. So I played Anya a lot. We were both very average teams. But then when I went to university, I played at a high level there in Limerick, it was called. I played alongside, actually just when Anya had left, but a lot of the other girls that now play out here, AFL, we're all in the same Gaelic team
Oh, cool.
in uni. It was
So
pretty cool.
cool.
Like,
Yeah.
we had a really good team there and won a few All-Irelands. We were on track to win our last one when I was in final year, and then COVID hit and the whole thing was cancelled. But
It's insane. And that
Bloody
was
COVID.
when you were in college, is that
In
right?
college, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And so then where did you, am I allowed to ask this?
Go.
Yeah, yeah.
You go. It's
Just
look at that.
general
You would just
chat.
Go. Love it.
I'm
Yeah.
distracting
Chit-chat.
myself from my burping. Tummy.
beautiful. I'm glad.
Where did you go to college then? And so I guess how does that work in Ireland? Like obviously we've got uni here. Is it the exact same thing or?
It's more, yeah, it's the exact same thing. I mean, I went to 2 unis because I didn't know what I wanted to do first.
Yep.
So I went to Galway first and did a degree in anatomy. I had planned to be a maths teacher, a maths and science teacher. So I did a degree in science. And then I started doing maths there and I absolutely hated it. And then I finished that off. I had no idea what I wanted to be, where I wanted to go. I just took the year out and just worked for the year in the
Cool.
anatomy lab. And I was like teaching medical students and I was like, oh, I can probably do this. But I still didn't know. I just knew I kind of wanted to work with children. So I applied to be a primary school teacher.
Yep. I did find all the. I
Oh.
found some of this
Also,
on the
I'll just
internet,
say-
but no, you go.
I
This is
applied
great.
to be a physio and got into that and got a scholarship for that. And then I some of my friends were doing the GAMSAT exam, which is the exam to get into postgraduate medicine.
Yes.
And I was like, I need that to do physio anyways. I'll do it and I'll give it one shot. If I get into medicine, I'll go because that's what my friends were
Yeah.
doing.
Great.
And I kind of believe in karma. I was like, I'll do it once. If I get in, I get in. If not, I'll go do primary school teaching.
Yeah.
And I obviously got in. I still think had I done primary school teaching, I would have been very, very happy.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be where I am here right now.
I love that it was like, oh, just give it a go.
Yeah.
Like medical exam, not easy. But I'll just give it a go. And if I do good at it, great. I'll just give that a go. If not, I actually want to do primary school teaching, but we'll just see how medicine goes.
You're so
And then-
blasé,
physio. How's that? That was a bit of a dig at us,
no,
wasn't it?
it
It was
Physio's
like,
my
might do a
third
physio.
option.
Might do physio
Too
as well,
easy,
but
though.
I was actually better than that, so I just went to
Oh,
do
it
medicine.
wasn't that. I was going to do physio because that's what sports people do, and I
Yeah,
didn't know what to do.
fair.
But I knew I wanted to work with children.
with kids,
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
like, however
but
I can.
amazing that you
No.
just went there. It was like you shot, okay, I'm going to do it, and
Give it
then
a go.
you
Why not?
obviously
Kind of always
aced
did
it.
I love that.
in life.
Well-
Why not? You can do Anthem. We're in very
Yeah.
lucky positions in our life. We
You
can
can-
do whatever we want.
Yeah.
And you
If we
can
wanna turn around
change.
tomorrow and pick up a new
Do something different.
skill or try something new,
Absolutely.
we can, and that's probably why I'm sitting here.
1 minute,
Why
if
not?
you want to be a producer, you can. The next minute, if you don't want to show up, you can also do that. Mim's
Yeah, well,
done
I
2 degrees
also
as well.
was going to be a doctor, but
But yeah, just
I
actually
really
you know,
wanted to be a primary teacher,
Yeah,
so that's
exactly.
That's
So we
what's
just swapped
happened.
roles.
So we just
Yeah.
swapped.
We're
Yeah.
equally as smart.
No, Mim,
don't
you
worry about
did
it.
swap though. You were doing
Yeah.
media
No, I was doing media.
at uni,
Yeah, at uni.
and then,
And then
you
we ruined
decided-
it for
Then I
it
hated
by
this
doing
so
this.
much.
It's like I don't
Working
want to
with
be
you
in this.
two drove me into the wall and changed
doing it
career. No,
anymore.
I love
Or you started working
guys.
with these, you're like, oh, I like working with children.
Good
I
Joe.
can do this professionally.
Look, see, she's come out of her shell.
She
She's
has.
not the
Look at that.
professional Joe that we see on the presses.
Let the walls down. So you said that you retired from
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gaelic.
Yeah.
But obviously then you moved to you
Yeah.
moved to Australia to be a doctor here.
Yeah.
Rather
After
than
you'd
so you
studied.
didn't move. So some move here to play football.
Yeah.
You didn't do that. It was to be a doctor. How did you find football?
Yeah, I'd during those last 2 years when I was working in Ireland and playing football, it was chaos. Obviously, it was during COVID, and it was really, really hard to balance both. And I could do it, but I wasn't doing it well, and I wasn't very happy about it. So, that's why I was like, I need to give up football. I can't do this. So I
Yeah.
actually had retired. I think I was in my 90 something game, and my dad was like, "Would you not just hold out for 100?" And I was like, "I actually can't.
No.
Like I'm just done. I can't balance this." So I knew I was moving to Australia in March of 2022.
Also, just clarifying, so you were just finished uni and had started working as a doctor in Ireland
Yeah.
when COVID hit.
So we graduated early. They brought us in early. So we were supposed to finish in July or June and start working in July, but they brought us in April.
Right, and then that's when you had to give up football or Gaelic because it was too much.
It didn't happen for a while because of COVID, and then when it came back, I was trying for about a year and a half, and then I just like, oh, I can't do this.
Yeah.
And I knew I was moving to Australia anyways because I wanted to work as a doctor in Australia.
Yep.
Well,
Um,
let's put the footy because we're going to talk about
Yeah.
the whole COVID thing
Yeah.
as well. So we'll talk about footy in a second. But because normally if I was reading, and normally you would have a couple of months off, like when you finish your exams and things, and then jump into
Yeah.
work. But with COVID, obviously they needed more doctors and whatnot. What was that like coming straight out of when you're studying? And it's very different, real world. Especially real world, normal real world is very different. But then you jump into COVID
Yeah.
hospital. How scary was that? Because
petrifying. It was
at that
petrifying.
point, everyone's like, this COVID
This was
thing's going
bad.
to
Yeah.
kill everyone,
Yeah,
basically.
it was. And all our exams were moved that bit forward. So they were all, we had no idea what kind of exams we were doing. They were all online. They were all 100%. It was horrible doing those exams, but we all got through. And then being out on the wards, it's petrifying anyway, starting a new job
Yeah.
and a new career. You've no idea what you're doing, let alone like having this like a shadow over you all the time.
Yeah.
And like what's going to happen next. And watching the news every day and checking all the reports, and your family being worried all the time because you're the one that's in the hospital.
Yeah.
We were lucky for the first couple of months that I started that it was our summertime,
Yeah.
and COVID didn't really kick off as much then. It escalated really badly around winter time, but for that summer, for those first couple of months, it was actually pretty stable. So it was okay, but it was still pretty scary and not knowing what was going to happen.
Now, you ended up getting COVID, tested positive the day before Christmas, and you
No.
had it very badly
Yeah,
from
it
what
wasn't
from what I've read.
Yeah.
And you actually took the hospital home with you, rather than so you didn't end up needing to be hospitalised. Is that right? But you took your monitors home and everything
an
to know
SpO2
that you were
monitor.
Yeah.
to know like where you were at. So obviously, if you're doing that, you've got to be pretty
Yeah.
bad. What was that like?
Oh, it was petrifying as
Yeah.
well. And it was, do you know what it was? It was obviously rubbish being sick during Christmas time, and I was sick for quite a couple of weeks. But it was the isolation that was the worst part.
Yeah.
I think everyone felt that. And my housemate stayed with me at that time in Galway, and she didn't end up getting it. Don't know how, but without her, I would have been so unwell. I couldn't get up in the morning. I couldn't, wash myself. I couldn't eat or anything like that. Worst part was I lost my smell and taste on Christmas morning. It was so
Rough.
sad. It was so rough.
So you were just
wasn't a
like
great Christmas
so unwell.
Yeah, it was pretty sick.
And
Yeah.
like that, you did say that the other day you did lose your taste.
Yeah.
For how many months?
For 8 months.
8
8
months.
months.
No.
That's almost bloody the next Christmas you
Oh,
ruined.
it was horrible. And then I got COVID a second time, like a year after having the first time,
Yeah.
and I was like petrified. And it was losing again. I was like, I can't do this again.
I don't mind being sick for a few weeks, but
How
not
did you even
not
eat?
the taste.
I don't think I would
Just
have.
eating crisps all the time because they were crunchy and toast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't eat Anthem.
So you get the
Lost
texture, you like
so
texture,
much
but
weight.
No, this was the thing. I was just
Oh,
eating crisps.
yeah.
Then I tried eating an egg and some pasta. I was
You're
like,
like,
I
nah.
can't. That is the worst thing I've put in my mouth.
Okay, I guess
Stop
'cause-
it.
yeah,
The
you don't actually
texture.
get the you just get the texture with no taste.
And then after a while, salt like slowly started to come back, and I used to get like chicken nuggets and dip them in salt and stuff.
There we go.
Talk
Back
about
to the
the
chicken
chicken nuggets.
The
Yeah, the
theme
chicken
of today, chicken nuggets.
Nuggets.
I'm going to go get some schnitz after. And I'm talking about being sick now. Joe, 8
I was
months of being
fine, yeah.
unwell.
No, I think I was like, obviously I was very sick at the time and it was really scary. But in
Mm.
hindsight now, I was also working around a lot of people that were a lot sicker than me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
people
sure.
are always surprised at how sick I am. And I'm like, I was very lucky.
Yeah.
You know, I've
Yeah.
seen some bad things on the
There.
wards and a
Yeah.
lot of people died there. And
yeah.
I think it gives you a good understanding of that. And at that time when I was sick, there was like 40 something doctors out of our own hospital that were all off that Christmas with COVID. And it was just,
Yeah.
so not only was the hospital completely understaffed, there was people dying and I was just at home and I couldn't smell anything. So, you know,
So-
You know, it's not that. Yeah, when
Yeah.
all you just
When
can't
you put it
smell or
into context,
taste
yeah,
anything.
yeah.
You're like, I'll take that over. Yeah, obviously the rest that was happening in the hospital at the time. So back to you came over to Australia. You weren't. Were you paediatric over in Ireland as well?
Yeah, I
so
was
you
for a while.
specialised
I
there.
specialised,
Yeah.
yeah.
But then came over here to be a paediatric
Yeah.
doctor. So in the football, how did you get in? So I know you played for Wembley
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
in the amateurs. How did that kind of come about?
When I was coming over, I knew that I planned to come to Australia for a while. A lot of Irish doctors come over for a year or two and then go home. And the Irish culture is so great. I mean, we all get around each other all the time. There's so many clubs and so many events. But sometimes you can get sucked into that and you don't end up meeting other people.
Yeah.
So I was like, I wanted to try the sport anyways because I'd seen so many of the Irish girls do it. But I also kind of wanted to make friends.
Yeah.
So I was chatting to Aisling McCarthy, who plays for the Eagles, who I went to uni with. And I was saying that I wanted to start playing, like, how do I work it? And she said that Paz Laurie, who used to play for the Eagles, was coaching a team in Wembley. And I should go down. And I just rocked down one
Another magpie.
Wednesday afternoon. And I was like, can I play? What is this? And there was another Irish girl there, Gemma Orange, was playing and coaching down there and kind of took me under her wing as well. And went from there. It was the best decision I ever made in my life. I made the best of friends from there. The girls I'm really still close with. We had so much fun and it kind of developed a new love for a new sport that I didn't think I would be able to.
Amazing.
And you won a premiership your first year,
yeah.
and you were best on ground in the grand final. So you obviously took to footy pretty well.
Yeah.
I know, like, obviously it does translate pretty
Yeah.
well. Otherwise, the rest of the Irish wouldn't be out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Irish in the AFLW. What do you think it is that translates so well?
Everyone always says this. They're always like, oh, it's so similar. I'm like, it's not. Like, there's no tackling in Gaelic and the ball is
Yeah.
a completely different shape.
Yeah.
But I do think the way that the play moves up the field.
I agree.
So how we run off each other, I think that's very similar.
Yep.
And it's a team sport at the end of the day. And it's ball in hand and kick ball. So I think those things translate over very easily.
Yep.
So you get a good idea of how the ball works.
I
Yeah.
think like the change of direction and the high speed running is very
Yeah.
similar to footy. Like a lot of the Irish girls have like a lot, I guess, high speed running efforts. And I think that would come from Gaelic being so explosive and having those really short, sharp efforts.
Yeah,
so
definitely,
I would say that, the change of direction, everything. And you still, like, I guess, have like jump to mark the ball and things like that
yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
It's obviously just a different shape. Yeah.
It's your fingers
I
a
mean, you
lot.
get no rest in
No, you
in
don't,
Gaelic.
no.
Just kick the goal and
You can't
go
celebrate
back.
the
Don't
goals.
celebrate
Don't
because it's
celebrate.
coming straight
because
back
it's
out.
quick points all the time. Yeah, we just don't celebrate. Which
That's
we get
so
slated over
boring.
here. Oh, well, I,
Yeah.
think,
What's your go-to goal celebration then?
I don't have one.
Well, you kicked one in. You've kicked a few in the pre-season.
You kicked
What
in the
have you done?
pre-season. What's your
No, was it?
I think I
Are we
just
good?
looked over at Anya.
Really?
But
Yeah.
no? If you kick a goal,
stop
look,
it.
we're going to put a good omen on you this
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
Richmond, you're going to kick a goal.
What do I do?
And it's going
I
to
don't know
be
what to do.
running
What do I
down
do
the
with my
wing.
hands?
Running down the wing. Joe's got a big kick. She's kicked it from 50 and it's just gone straight through the big sticks. What are you going to do?
I'll be looking at you being Drisco, what do I do?
What do I do? We had to teach
Turn to
Anya
the
this.
left.
It
Yeah.
took Anya a long time. She also would never do it. She's starting to get better.
I think
I've
Anya's-
seen her celebrate a
think-
few times now.
I think what you don't realise is how new we all are to the sport, but probably sometimes I haven't a clue what's going on. I'll be honest, I don't know what's going on. And
Same.
there's so often where the umpire so a play might stop and everyone goes and runs on and I'm just standing there and I'm like, what's happening? It happened in that
Oh,
clip that
God.
she showed us. There was a ball up, a boundary throw into Mim. I was running around in front of Mim. Then I realised it was a ball up because she was down there. I was like, I don't know where I'm supposed to be,
No.
what I'm doing.
It's too
So
good.
it always takes me that second. So it's the same if it's a goal. I have to wait until someone does something to be like, oh,
Just so-
that's what's happening.
Oh, it's actually gone through.
Not when
and
it's
you're
your
like,
own goal.
Well,
Yeah, well,
It's come off your big toe.
like,
You got to
see Darren.
celebrate.
can't see if it's gone through. Okay, say set the scene. You know, you've seen it. It's
Yeah.
gone
Okay,
straight.
okay.
There's no one around you. It's not touched.
People can't
You've
come up
seen
to
it
you
go
yet.
straight through the middle.
Like, we can't get to you yet. So what are
Okay.
you going to do?
Just make a fist.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I need.
Single
Woohoo.
cobra.
Woohoo. Okay, guys.
just like-
hey, Mom, did you see that?
Throw your hands in the air or something.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, Mom, I'm on TV.
I'm nervous. I don't want her to kick a
Oh,
goal this
no.
Friday now
Oh,
because
so
that's
Good, Harry.
appalling.
No,
I do.
I'll do
No, I wanna
something.
see it.
It depends on the moment, I
Okay.
suppose.
You
And-
did. I
and
feel
don't
like it's like
personally,
a
I haven't
Just a bit of just a happy shocked
scored one
face is
yet.
fine.
Okay. Happy shocked.
Yeah, the Ari's happy shocked.
We'll see.
Great.
So
Make up in the
you
moment.
you then played for Subiaco in the
Yeah.
Waffle W. Did you decide that you were going to take that step up to take a little bit more seriously, or what? Like, how did that happen?
The Subi manager, Michael Farmer, reached
Yeah.
out to me after the grand final. I think he was at the grand final, or for Wembley, sorry, and just asked to meet for coffee. And I said, yeah. And he was chatting about football. And I was like, I remember at the time, even when I said to the Wembley girls afterwards, I was going to go play for Subi. And they were like, why? And I was like, well, I don't really want to have a break in football. I just kind of want to keep training.
Yep.
At home in Ireland, we don't really get an off season because you've so many different. You have club, and then you have county, and then you have uni. That you don't actually get you might get a week off, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, what am I supposed to do for 6 months if I'm not playing football? So I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I'll keep going.
Yep.
The longest time off I probably had was the 2 weeks that we had before starting for Frio, and I was itching, didn't know what to do. You know?
That's great.
So I was like, oh, I'll keep going and see what happens. And I think we're all sports people. At the end of the day, you want to see what you can do and see what your body can do. And we're lucky that we're all healthy individuals and we can push ourselves forward. And I was like, oh, sure, I'll keep going and see what happens.
So going from obviously like retiring from Gaelic,
Yeah.
were you then like when you came here, you were just like, oh, this is just it's like starting again, really, in something new and exciting and.
I was like, oh, I just want to have a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Just do it for the social aspect.
Yeah.
Didn't
So it
wanna
was
be
never
balancing-
about obviously going anywhere with it. You would have
No.
known obviously that AFLW was a thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But that was never your thing. Do not open those. Or quickly
Just
open
one
them
shot.
now.
I'm interested in Joe's story.
Those packets also don't open.
They're so hard to
How's a
open.
snort?
How's it?
Can I
How's
just pop
that
up?
literally midway through the story? I will just take an intermission here.
We'll just wait.
Just goes a bit-
Sorry.
Some more.
You're asking too many questions about. I want to hear about it getting drafted.
Well, we
Want me to open
I
it
was
for you?
literally getting there. That was next.
Got
Oh,
it.
nice. Well done. They're hard to open.
Do you want some for your tummy?
No.
Be good for your tummy. Okay, sorry.
Anyway,
Continue.
we were just about to get to the drafting because you've got to get through the story. Sorry, we're boring you. Sorry, Joe's boring you with her story.
Not boring me, Joe.
Anyway, all right, let's skip forward. So all right, I have fun. So you're playing for Subi.
Yeah.
How did the whole Freo thing come about?
I think we went to like a testing day, a fitness testing day in Wembley in the netball centre there. And I met Darren Fry there. I went to get some water out of my bag and he started chatting to me.
The old water out of the bag.
Darren,
I love that
loves to
detail.
chat.
And he just
Darren,
called me
you
up and he was like,
stalker.
Joanne, and I was like, hello, who's this man?
It's this bald man
And he
coming
was
to
like, I'm
talk to
from
me.
Frio. I said, oh, cool.
Yeah.
And then he just started chatting to me and he was like, I'll come watch your yo-yo. And I was like, okay.
Well.
Yeah, and he did. He sat there on the side and watched me do my yo-yo, the biggest pressure I've ever had in my life. But I did it well. Came top of our team,
17.1.
but-
that right?
the
That's
17.1.
elite, Joe.
Yeah.
Well done.
It was hard. It was horrible. It was so
Yeah.
warm in there.
It's not nice.
Any chance a bit of aircon? Bloody
like
heck.
it.
I
It's
think
like
they
in
only
here.
have the big industrial fans. I don't think they can have aircon in centres like that.
Well, they should invest.
You just missed your mouth twice.
I've
no.
got the shakes.
Oh dear. Okay. So you went to that day. what happened after that? Did you speak to Darren a few more times?
Yeah.
I know he loves to get on the phone.
Yeah, chatted him a couple of times. Went down to like a training session in Frio for like a rookie
Oh yeah.
draft.
Like
day.
a rookie
Turns
draft
out
day.
I'm not a rookie because I played waffle. I didn't know that.
Right, but they wouldn't have. They would have just wanted to see you.
I think
how you
Ari
played.
was there actually. I think Ari was there. I can't remember. And did that, and then I had just been chatting to him a bit. He told me to put myself in for the draft, so I did. And had a couple more phone calls, and all of a sudden, then it's been announced it's been drafted.
Did you know any of the Irish players like Mullers and Anya
Yeah, I knew
and
Anya.
Orla?
I knew Anya from playing like when we were underage. Mullers, I'd met her through Wembley, but I didn't know her when I first joined. She just came down to one training session and they were all like, "Oh, you know Mullers," because all the Irish know each other.
Yeah.
No, we
Right.
don't.
Yes, you
Yeah.
do.
The majority
Yes,
of
you
us
do.
do. And anytime I'm like, "Oh no, we don't all know each other," then you meet someone, you're like, "Oh, my cousin."
this is-
And you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh."
And then there's this thing with the Irish, you get photos
Yeah.
24/7
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
It's like, they're doing another Irish photo. But
Oh,
then
we
there's
do
just
get
more
an
and
Irish
more
photo.
each year.
There's more.
I reckon
It's
there's, how many, there's a quarter of the team's
Sometimes
Irish
I think
now.
maybe it's
Four?
just an excuse that it's an Irish photo. Maybe it's just that we don't.
All four of you are playing too.
We are, yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Did you know Orla?
Gaelic team.
Did you know Orla before coming over?
No, I didn't. No.
So I have a
no.
photo here of you and Orla.
Oh,
Yeah, she showed me this on the
What?
plane. Do you know what? We were sitting beside each other on
Yeah.
the plane
Where's
on
the
the way
camera?
home.
My camera.
From the last trip, and she just, when she's on the plane, she flicks through her old photos, and she was just flicking through photos of her playing, and then she was like, "Oh my God, Joe, is that you?" And I was like, "It is."
Yes.
It's a great
Oh, good.
year. I mean,
Anyway, yeah.
terrible
So
year, but a great year.
that's
orange boots.
Joe and Orla. You look like you're
Orla's
gonna
about
just slap
12.
it out of her hand or something. Is that how you tackle?
That's how we tackle. Yeah,
That's how
but
you
the
tackle.
other arm on the back, you're not allowed to do that. So I probably.
Oh,
That
that's
day, actually.
Hang on, that's quite common for you, isn't it?
We'll
Yeah,
talk
bit of a
about that
push, bit of a
later.
We'll
shove.
talk about that later.
That game, we had bet Meath, I think, 4 times that year. We won that day. And then we played them in the All-Ireland semi-final in our home stadium with a huge, like, 10, 20,000 people.
Yeah.
It's huge. And we were like, we're going to win. We've beaten them 4 times already. Like, we know them back
Yep.
to front. They came out, absolutely destroyed us. It was the most embarrassing day
Oh,
ever.
that's-
in front of
oh
a
my
home crowd.
God.
Don't you hate that? It's
Then
great
they
when
went
you
on
do
to
it
the All-Ireland.
when you're the opposite way, like
Yeah,
when you're
that's great,
all as
but
team. That's
yeah.
the best. But
But
yeah,
when you
that
beat them
way
that many
around.
times, and then you're like, you've done all the hard work.
Bit of
but-
we call that
give Dolly
choking.
that one,
Do you
yeah.
call that choking in
Choking,
Ireland?
yeah. Bottling
That's
it.
choke. So Anya and Mullers rocked up to your house on draft
Yeah.
night. What was it? So where were you? How were you?
I was at home.
Yeah.
I had planned to go to state training, but Frizy was on the phone to me and he was like, "Don't go, just stay
Yeah.
at home and have a party." And I was like, "Okay."
So you knew you were going to get
I
drafted.
mean,
yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Because,
I hate that.
yeah, but it was so.
You're ruining
I would have
it, yeah.
gone to
No.
state training, not known anyone, and then
Great. Go to state training. We bring the cameras there. Brett's there.
no, because
Mullers and Anya are there. Like, make it or get
I
some other
loved how it
excuse to
went.
stay home. Don't, stay home and have a party. Obviously, you're getting drafted.
I still didn't know.
You did
he
know.
Said, unless something like outrageous happens, and then I was like, "What does that
well,
mean?"
something outrageous is good.
You're
And then
the
you go, okay,
smartest
something.
person in this room.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you definitely are.
Don't be naive, Joe. You've had
Yeah, you
100
still
phone
don't-
calls with Frizy. He stalked you to your bag when you got your water bottle out. You're getting picked up by Fremantle.
I still didn't know.
Oh my God.
Because
Anyway, Jo said she enjoyed it.
I
She
had a great
liked the way it was.
I
so
was with all my friends, and so when I went put myself in for the draft, I put myself in for the state one instead of the national. So I knew if I was going to be picked, I would have been the like 3rd or 4th pick, because why would you waste a state pick?
Yeah,
right?
got it.
But so Jay was picked 3rd. Jay and Joe sound very similar. So when Jay was announced as 3rd, my friends went off, like
Yeah.
started screaming, and I was like, no, and
That's
I
it.
for a second, and then we all kind of dropped, and then that's when we were all like, it's not happening. She's not getting drafted. I was like, it's not happening. I'm not
were
getting
you the
drafted.
last one?
I was the 4th
yeah,
pick.
yeah.
But like we were all like, oh no, we've just celebrated and she's
I've
not.
missed
it wasn't
state
her.
training.
That's awkward.
Yeah, I was like, missed state training. Missed out on the skills.
Yeah.
But then obviously they announced me for the 4th one, and my friends ran into the cupboard and grabbed out all the decorations and put them up while I was on the phone.
No,
And,
so cool.
phone went off for 2 days. I couldn't handle it.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was so good. It was such a good evening.
That's so
Except I had a couple of glasses of champagne, obviously, and then
Obviously.
Anya and the media team arrived to the house, and I was like, not
gone to
sure if
my
I
head.
can speak here. Yeah, I was like, I don't think I can
How
put a
was,
sentence together.
how was your media face
Not
then?
great. Not great. Not gonna lie. It took a lot of composure
Yeah.
to get through it. Don't know what I said. I'll never
great.
watch that
Watch-
interview back because I'm too embarrassed by it.
Hey, isn't WA the best place to call home?
Couldn't agree with you more. And our friends at Bankwest want to help you make the most of it.
That's why we've got some of the best seats in the house to our games this season.
And when you're not cheering us on, you could be in the best seats at the other epic events at Optus Stadium and RAC Arena.
So let's hear it for our home team, our home ground and our home crowd.
And let's hear it for the best seats in the house.
Search Bankwest Best Seats for your chance to win. All right, do you want to go your dish with Driz? Well, there's a few things in here, but I feel like you can add them into your dish with Driz.
Just about, yeah. What about her round one debut?
Oh, I missed that. How was she? Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Just a free one.
To cap it off.
You've played many games
a few
already.
games.
Many games, all four.
How did it feel like getting announced that you were debuting round one and then obviously...
the first one, that was so good.
That was
Everyone
so
was
good.
so loud.
Yeah.
It was
So
amazing.
loud. I was shook. Oh, I was not expecting it. And Anya was like afterwards, of course someone was going to make their debut. I was like, sorry, how was I supposed to know? When the cameras are there, that's what it meant. I just assumed the cameras were there because they were getting everyone's reaction from all the family videos. I was like, oh, how sweet. And then I wasn't really
100%.
paying attention to the end.
Well, I was like already crying. I was crying
Yeah,
about
I was
everyone.
a bit
Like, it was,
tearful, yeah.
Can you stop putting them on me? She's just put them over here. Okay, I'll eat them. Ask me again. Yeah, because we'd had all these family videos and it was all like a bit emotional and stuff. And I genuinely was like, because normally, when the cameras are out, you know something's happening. But I was like, oh, maybe it's just, getting the
Yeah.
reactions for that. And then I think everyone was just like high on emotion.
Yeah.
So then
Yeah.
when they announced it, oh, it was beautiful.
So good.
And I feel like they talk. We talk about obviously Frizy stuffed up your draft night, but that's okay because the debuts have been so hidden, like
Yeah,
discreet.
so good.
Like we had your one with the family videos, and then we had Jay Flynn's.
Oh, Jay Flynn's
was
was
when she got up to
nerve-wracking.
do like a presentation. We all do a presentation a little bit about ourselves, like just talking about things we like and whatnot to get, I guess, stay connected with the group. And at the end of that, there was a blank slide. And everyone's going, what's a blank slide for? And it was like your best football moment. They put up that Jay was debuting. I was like, what?
That was me. So that was my one job of the day was I had to wait for there's going to be a blank slide at some point and then you get up and then you like tell her she's debuting. I was like sitting there the whole time. I couldn't tell you.
Like, how good
I couldn't
is that
tell you
people to
anything
announce that?
about
And then
her
Aries was good too.
because I was stressing the whole time being like, where's the blank slide? Where's the blank slide? Is it
Don't
at the start?
imagine-
Is it at the end?
Yeah.
Is it in the middle?
So good.
And then Aries was obviously outside
Yeah.
when the training plan gets put up on the big screen. They obviously put a picture of Ari up
So good.
to say
So
she's
exciting.
debuting. What the
Ari.
hell? Ari.
No, it was
Oh,
so
no.
good. And the debut, it's like the game itself was so much fun. But it was
Yeah,
so...
Derby round one.
Yeah.
It's always a bit
Unreal joke.
always a bit hectic.
It was a bit hectic, but it was so good. Like that first moment running out was just...
Yeah.
Everyone was like, take it all in, take it all in.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, try. No, it was good.
No, it's so good.
You're incredible. All right, well, the time has come for Dish with Drees. I'm feeling better.
The popcorn has set
The
up.
popcorn settled
Feeling
the
yourself
tummy.
again.
Or maybe I was just nervous to talk to you, Joe.
Maybe you were. And that's okay. You don't have to be nervous around
I'm
this.
sweating. Maybe I'm nervous. Or is this room?
It's pretty warm. It's pretty
Joe
warm.
Cregg.
Sorry.
It's the Dish with Drees.
Cool.
You ready to get stitched up?
Oh, not really.
What is the nickname for Roscommon people?
The Rossies are also the sheep shaggers.
Sheep shaggers. Thank you, Anya. That's the best thing ever.
when you like the Rossies, I was like, that's not it. That can't
when
be
you
it.
paused, I was like, oh, can I say this? So it was the sheep stealers, apparently.
Okay,
People used to
Steelers.
sheep steals.
Sure.
Stitches
Right.
me up all the time.
Is
you
that
know.
because you're next
She-
to each other? Like
yeah.
where you
She
from?
got me before this year. Ireland were playing the World Cup, obviously, over here in Perth against. I can't remember who they played now in the end, but Canada, and we watched it here in Perth, and there was loads of us down in the pub beforehand, having a couple of drinks,
the Irish
getting all
together.
excited. Yeah, place was absolutely wedged. It was
You and all your
so
cousins?
good.
Was there a photo?
All the cousins, me, all my family. Yeah, it was a photo. It was 10 million photos. Kidding me? There was 17,000 people there. Singing Fields of Athenry in the crowd. It's brilliant. Best day of my life. But in the pub beforehand, this woman comes up to our table and is like, like all you Irish people, I want to do an interview in Irish. And Anya's like, Joanne speaks Irish. She tells everyone I'm fluent in Irish. And I'm not fluent in Irish. And I've told her many times. So she's like, Joanne will do this interview in Irish. And I wasn't really paying attention. I kind of heard my name. This woman comes up to me and she's like, well, can I do an interview in Irish with you? Just a couple of fuckle, which just means a couple of words in Irish. Yeah.
Yep, okay.
Sorry, say that again.
Couple of fuckle means a couple of words. Anyways, this woman thought she was getting an interview with me in Irish, and I said, absolutely not. I'm so sorry, love, but I can't speak Irish. Not enough. Anya's just trying to
So
stitch me
Anya
up.
stitched you up there, and then she stitched you up today
She's
with
always trying to get me. She's so nice, but
sneaky.
she's a bit evil.
Yeah, she's a bit sneaky.
She is naughty like
She's
that.
sneaking up there. Up on her.
But anyways,
Probably outside the
Putting
door
her-
waiting. She's like,
we like Roscommon people more than Leitrim people.
Good.
She
That's
definitely
just
doesn't
weird.
listen to this.
She will.
I'll tell her.
This is not the kind of thing she would listen to.
Alrighty,
She also
so
wouldn't care.
we just spoke about you're a woman of many talents, and you clearly can't speak fluent Irish. However, your LinkedIn says you speak fluent French.
Oh, I used to. I was so I did French
You
in
did?
uni. Yeah. Yeah, damn it. I actually am so sad I don't
Okay,
speak
well, you got to
French
give us
anymore.
one line.
Oh, no, I'm not going to do that.
One.
One line.
You gave us one Irish
Well,
line.
your
Well,
link-
what do you want me to say? This is like in the
Hi, my
but
name's
your
Joanne.
LinkedIn says that you're
Bonjour.
fluent in French. So.
As she
I
takes
say
the
bonjour,
popcorn.
je m'appelle Joanne. That's it.
Say again.
Bonjour,
was
je
it?
m'appelle Joanne.
Oh, I can say
That
that.
sounds good. Go again.
Do a little
Bonjour,
accent, the same
je
thing.
m'appelle Hayley.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Joanne. J'habite à Perth.
I like Joanne.
That sounds
Joanne.
great.
Joanne.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Don't know what else to say.
Okay, well,
So I did it as an elective when I was in uni, and I became fluent, and then I was supposed to go for a year in France.
Well, I
but
did it
didn't
in
work
primary
out.
school, and I know about the same as you.
that's
There we go.
amazing.
Bonjour,
So
je
There we
m'appelle
go.
Hayley.
a whole year.
That's because I just said it.
That's the only line I know.
Well, I don't know what else to say, but yeah.
Anyway.
And you
I'm
didn't
not-
end
I'm
up
not
going?
fluent anymore. No, it didn't work out.
you could change your LinkedIn.
I should.
You need a
but-
profile picture
well,
there
I'm-
too. I wasn't 100% sure it was you,
Oh,
so
really?
we just went with it.
Well, I think once I got a job, I just stopped ever using LinkedIn.
Yeah,
Don't
fair.
need it.
Yeah, no.
Fair enough. Well, anyways,
What's on your LinkedIn?
you've just dished us because that was dish with Driz, but
I might put in fluent in Irish. Just
No, be
for-
careful because then you're going to get called out like
Yeah.
this.
yeah, you get called out. You can't.
remember-
In saying that though, so I guess this one's not for you, Joe, but just a general discussion point. We talked about speaking in Irish before.
Yeah.
So we are all sitting down as a group to watch the AFL prelim final on the weekend. Teams have lined up and they've started to sing the Australian anthem.
Yeah.
And we have hung shit on Orla several times. But seriously, for her to go, I think I know this song. And us to go, what do you mean? And then her defense back is, you guys don't know the Irish anthem. But it's
But
like,
I'd also know that you're singing the
Sing-
Irish
yeah,
anthem
yeah.
in that situation. Situational.
Lapse, you know, it was a,
It was a lapse.
was
There's
just
a
a
lot
bit
of
of a moment.
lapses for that girl.
yeah.
but I can't. It's too funny. But anyways, that was just a story I remembered about, like Irish language versus our Australian anthem. But the Irish anthem can actually is in English as well.
Well, we have
Sort of.
two. We have our main national anthem is in Irish, Our
Yeah.
Naveen, but there's a second anthem they sing at rugby games called Ireland's Call, which is in Irish. So
Would
there's
you
two
be able to sing the?
Absolutely, but I can't sing and I won't sing.
Well, can you just say the words of the first two lines so that we know you can
the
speak
one?
Irish?
Oh,
Yeah.
I can speak Irish for you, but I'm not fluent.
What?
I can
thought you
teach
just said you couldn't do an
because I
interview in Irish.
I can't do an interview. That's like I can't speak and talk about a game, but I can talk a few words.
I feel like that an interview would be easy.
Well,
No,
it's
I
probably
wouldn't.
not. If you
Can you do an interview in French?
no,
Yeah, I did it in year 5.
Bonjour. Bonjour. Je m'appelle
Je m'appelle
Hayley.
Hayley. Bonjour. Je
Un,
m'appelle-
deux, trois.
I can teach you some Irish if you want.
Okay, no,
Okay.
don't worry
No,
about it.
no.
I got a good one for you actually. In Irish, the word for water is probably my favourite fact of Ireland, and it kind of goes back on our Irish drinking culture. But anyways, word for water is ishka.
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 Uisce, obviously
Yeah.
pronounced ishka. And
Obviously.
obviously, yeah.
Obviously, it makes sense.
Ishka.
Yeah, ishka. You got it.
Ishka.
Ishka.
Then the word for whiskey is ishka baha. So ishka baha.
Ishka Baha.
Ishka Baha. So
which actually directly translates as the water of life.
So whiskey
whiskey to us
is the water of life.
yeah.
That's so,
So
Irish.
Irish.
That's so Irish.
So
yeah.
Irish.
And
That's,
people always slate us over our drinking culture, and then you're like, "Oh, we
yes,
put it
the
on
drinking
ourselves."
Yep,
culture is
you
wild.
do. You really
know,
do put it on
That's the
yourself.
greatest thing ever.
Oh, that's great.
There you go.
Loved it.
Thank you, Joe. All right, so we talked about that photo of you and Orla just before, with the old illegal hand on the back. Talk us through your technique, because you are a serial arm holder / illegal
People love to complain.
grabber
You guys
in football games.
for saying that you get hit from all sides, and then a little tug here and there. You're crying at me.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Your tummy's
A
still sore,
little
Drisco.
tug. So Joe in the midfield.
she's that bad.
She's like it's
Yeah.
this, like a
I forget.
full on. No, I
Forget.
forget. You're not allowed to do it.
rules. I'm
You're not
new.
allowed to do it in Gaelic either.
you can't
so
hold
forget that too.
someone.
I'm bad at pulling the jersey too. I've noticed that. Yeah,
Yeah,
bit of
that's
a pull
literally,
here.
we talked about this before.
Anyway, and then she just tells me to stop complaining.
Because you see, I come here and everyone's like, "Oh, you can do Anthem. There's nothing you can't do."
All right.
And then
I'm going to hold them all back.
kick you in the face like, "Oh, I thought I could," but
Oh, no.
No,
I'm
too
still
much.
learning. I'm still learning.
Okay.
You're too rough.
Do
Don't
it
be
to
a
everyone
pest.
else but me.
Okay. So now,
Take it.
last week we talked about Ari having a secret boyfriend, and I actually know your boyfriend. I was going to say quite well. Met him twice. Know him quite. We're best
This
mates.
is like Mullers yesterday. She
Probably
goes,
cousins.
"Oh, I went to the beach with Seb," and you're like, "Was Joe there?"
No.
She said it like
Yeah.
she went to the beach with
there,
Joe's boyfriend.
Boyfriend.
And I was like,
Yeah.
Anyway,
So anyway, speaking on that,
everyone knows your boyfriend quite well.
Miller and there was quite a few people wouldn't know you have a partner. So talk us through Seb. We love that guy.
Yeah.
Me best mate.
Great guy.
Tell us your love story. We love a love
Oh
story.
gosh. I think when I moved over here last year, like I'm 30 years old. I'm a little bit older than you guys. I'm a bit more civilized, as you can tell.
Not that
Dirty.
much older than me. That's all right.
But all my friends at home in Ireland were all like settling down. My best friend was engaged and she's now married, and everyone else was kind of in their long-term relationships. And I'm like, guys, I'm off.
Yeah.
Breaking up with my boyfriend, moving to the other side of the world. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So I kind of felt like I had a bit of a fresh start. But when I came out here, I just met Seb through a bit of Tinder. We love a bit of Tinder.
And he's not
boyfriend.
Irish.
Not Irish.
Love that for you.
Well,
And the old
That's
Tinder
okay.
date turned into
started dating and then became official, and now he's over here for the week in Melbourne. He loves following you guys and being in touch. He's an Eagle supporter though.
He's a mate. Oh, okay,
We won't
well,
hold that
besides
against
that, it's also
We
another.
all
should,
went
you
through
should.
that phase.
There's
Oh,
also
really?
another flaw, and I'm gonna lose it asking.
Oh no.
Okay, stop eating for this second.
Is it true that Seb is missing the first 3 buttons of all of his shirts?
Probably. Loves to flash a little
He's
bit of
taking
chest
them
hair.
off.
I'm like, come on.
He's taking them off. He's
a
like,
bit
oh, they
chilly.
just keep falling off.
Yeah.
I hope he doesn't listen and think we've stitched him up, but that is
Absolutely
classic.
have.
Something we've
Man
noticed.
doesn't own a t-shirt. He's just all
Great.
Yeah. embrace
Loves the
it.
button up. Perfect. Go for it. Anyways, whatever you're into. Love you, Seb. I think that's. Oh, we got one more
Sure.
question actually.
Okay, what? Yep, go.
Bottom of here.
Yeah. I was just going to add that one in. but you
Again,
go.
we're speaking about a woman of many talents.
Yeah.
Talk us about your. Talk us through your professional piano career.
I was like, what is this going to be now?
I wish we had a piano here.
I mean,
but
oh yeah, I'd love to play you guys a song. I will get one. I will bring it down for you and put it down there. But
Yes.
yeah, I started playing piano when I was like 8, and I think probably the reason I still play football, I'm pretty stubborn when I'm doing things. I wasn't very good for the first, I'd say probably 5 or 6 years. My poor parents, their ears were bleeding. Or my piano teacher, oh my God,
great.
the poor woman. I would like every week, like, nah, didn't practice this week. Won't be crying at lessons. But so I did it for about 10 or 12 years and became like finished all the grades or whatever. And then I started teaching myself. And then I learned how horrible it is when you have kids that don't practice.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, just play the note. Anyways, so I was teaching piano for like 6 or 7 years before I came over here to Australia. It was my favourite thing in the world to do.
I wish I stuck
Incredible.
with it. See,
Yeah.
I'd tried for a few years.
did piano too.
I did piano lessons on a Saturday afternoon,
that's
and
what
I
I did, yeah.
hated it.
Yeah.
And I didn't practice. And then eventually, Mum was like, "Okay, this is a lost cause. She's
Yeah.
not going to do it."
Which
But
shows.
I needed to stick at it for 10 or 12
Sometimes you
years.
just have to keep showing up. That's all we do.
Piano
every
and
day, isn't it? We
French.
just keep
There
showing
you
up.
go. You too.
Good, I know.
I used to do
Talented.
Irish
You can
dancing.
teach me.
Yeah,
piano.
cool.
Used to do Irish dancing when I was young.
Oh, good.
I had a little green dress and I used to go with my hair all curly. These really curly hair.
Really
like a perm.
curly,
So
yeah.
sweet.
Well, I was not good at it. So I might be able to play piano. I cannot sing and I cannot
That's it.
dance. I mean, I 7 left feet, not 2.
That's
But anyways, I kept going, and then when I was like 7 or 8 years old, so still very young, we used to go to Irish dancing lessons straight after school up to the local community centre. And after you finish, lovely Anne, our dance teacher, she would give you a lollipop.
Oh no, you didn't
So
get
at
one.
the end you get a lollipop, you go home happy out. One day after the lesson, got my lollipop, a girl a year older than me, and this just shows how powerful the things that children say to you are.
Yeah.
She said to me, "You only come to these lessons because you want a lollipop." And I said, "No, I do not." Quit.
I do.
That was it.
Quit. No,
Last
done.
lesson, I quit dancing. I was like, I can't do this anymore.
I can't do this.
I was like, I'm
anymore.
done. Just to spite her, prove
Yeah,
a point.
you're
No,
done. I'm done.
I'm done.
I can't.
I quit.
do
Never
this
danced
anymore.
again. So when you
The
guys
best
are like,
one you are.
you're taking the piss and doing your little jigs and reels, I'm like, I actually don't know how to do it because I only did it till 7.
Well, we can start that dancing career up again.
Which is
Yeah.
funny because I normally don't quit at things, but that was that
That's
was it.
classic.
From then
Great
on, I was like, I'm not gonna
story.
quit again.
Love it.
Love that.
Live, love, laugh. Okay, Hayley Miller, on to you.
Laugh.
It's now
I am here.
Oh,
Mim's,
sorry.
Mim's actually here, so she can do the from the fans.
If
she
you haven't
likes.
watched the show, Joe, this is my one and only
I
part.
have watched the show, but you weren't there.
Yeah. Good answer.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, but
Joe.
they're really mean to me, so I don't like coming.
It's okay.
But I wanted to hear yours. I've got some fans questions from the fans. Seb asks, "What is your most listened to ting on Spotify?"
Ting. Oh, that's a bit mean. He's saying ting because I say instead of thing.
Yeah,
It's a bit harsh.
We got that.
And I know he's trying to stitch me up here. So
We got that.
yeah.
Thanks.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know what you know.
Yes. I
on
like that he
Spotify-
makes fun of your accent.
Yeah. All
One
the
time
time.
I made fun of your accent. You didn't even say it. I was like, oh, tree. Said something about
I don't
tree. And
say
you were
tree.
like, I didn't even say it. I was like, well, it'd be funnier if you did. But anyway.
I mean, it's borderline.
Anyway,
racism, but
continue
it's
on.
fine.
You can answer the question.
This is just stupid, but I really struggle to sleep at night. Like last night, I barely slept at all. But I always listen to like rain sounds at night time. So you know how at the end of the year everyone has
Yeah.
their Spotify top playing.
Yours is rain
Mine's-
sounds.
It's all rain sounds. The top 5, and maybe one piano song.
That's
So
the
like my
best
favorite
thing
music
ever.
is just the sound of rain. It's called green noise.
Okay,
It's
thank
beautiful.
you.
Sometimes I put
Maybe
on
I
brown
need that.
noise. Yeah, it's lovely.
I need that.
Green
to help me
noise.
Even if
sleep.
it's raining outside, I put on my rain sounds. Yeah.
Great, Joe.
Lovely. Bo Runnels asks, "What's the strangest medical mishap you've seen?"
That's a good
Nice.
question.
Ooh. That
This
I've
is Hayley's
mishap.
brother.
Well, I could get into trouble if you say a medical mishap. But,
You could.
as in
Oh,
what-
no, as in
kids
like
come in with.
someone's
Oh, yeah,
come in
yeah.
with, I reckon,
Crazy.
I've seen a couple of like accidental ingestions. And kids put things in their mouth that they shouldn't do, and they swallow things. So sometimes you pull up an X-ray and there's just things lighting up that you're like,
Like a
what is
Lego
that?
block.
like Lego and batteries and things.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
but
Far out.
it's not as scary as you think. So that's probably the worst one. You're like, you know, this kid has come in, they're coughing, and you say to the parents, "Have they eaten anything?" Like, "Oh, I don't think so." And then you X-ray, and there's like, "Oh, there's a Lego."
There's a
There's
Lego
a man
in
in
there.
his tummy.
in his tummy. I think I've got a man in my tummy. Can
There's a
we
man in
X-ray
your tummy.
me?
Maybe that's what's going on with you.
Yeah, did you?
I've got a man in my
Ingested
tummy.
some
Do
Lego.
you have any Lego today in your brekkie?
This is great. I can't stop cackling. Okay.
Jenna asks, "Any recommendations for coffee shops in Melbourne?"
Oh,
What'd
we've
you
been
go
going
to?
to Tom, Dick and Harry a good
Yeah.
bit. We think that was nice, just around the corner
We're
from us.
keeping that place in business.
We
Tell you
are.
what, whenever
we
I go
are.
there,
And
there's one of
I
us
love
in
that
there.
they know a long Mac topped up, because I've said it in a few other places and they give me the blank stare.
Yeah,
But-
I think it's because we've all been in there.
Yeah.
Someone's taught
Turbo's
them.
told us to do a small latte with an extra shot.
Yeah,
A strong
that's
latte. So
the
that's been
thing,
working
yeah.
well.
Yeah.
But maybe we're just a bit
There's ones
uncareful.
down this way. There's secret ones.
Oh.
2 birds, 1 stone I went to today. It was really
I feel
nice.
like I've been there once before.
Yeah,
Two
so
birds,
we
one
should
stone.
go there.
Is it down the other, like down the weird alleyway and then out the other side? Yeah.
We'll go there next
Still
time.
got plenty
Love
of
that.
time of
Plenty of
exploring.
time.
Right near the hotel.
Yep.
It's beautiful.
Ellie Curlis asks you for the most enjoyable thing about being in Australia.
Oh. I mean, the beaches are absolutely beautiful. They're probably the best thing and probably the biggest change. I think I was going to say the people here, but the people here are very similar to Irish people. I think that's why Irish people fit in so well over here.
Yeah.
Everyone's very open and has that kind of culture of community and helping each other all the time.
Beautiful.
So I probably would say the beaches are the most gorgeous thing. They're just the beaches in WA
Stunning.
are absolutely stunning. You could go to a new beach every day, and although they're very, very similar, they're still so different and so gorgeous.
Love.
Love that.
You've kind of touched on this, but Eva Campo asks, "How do you find the juggling of being a doctor, training, playing, and then also traveling?"
I mean, it comes with its ups and downs, I suppose. I think it's a lot easier since being in Australia, and everyone from Frio and in the hospital are so accommodating and so good to me. And I think both careers kind of, I don't know, help each other, but then they're also very, very different. Someday I goes to work and I'm like, I would just love a quiet day in work, because your adrenaline's always up when you're at training. You're always trying to perform and be the best. And when you're working in the emergency department, it's very similar. You need to be on all the time. And sometimes I'm like, I'd love to just sit at a desk for an hour and just do nothing and have
yeah.
like nothing going through my head.
And then have
Always
chronic
be
low
switched
back
on.
pain. Yep.
I mean, yeah. Well, I'm in training every other
Sorry,
day, so
yeah.
I'm not going to
You
have
get
chronic-
moving.
yeah.
You get moving.
But yeah, so sometimes it can be tough because your adrenaline's always on and you get a bit tired then. But
That's why I always ask you, I'm like, how was work? And you're like, yeah, it was all right. Nothing much happened. We just want days where you get to cuddle the babies.
yeah,
That's a good
It's
day.
so
I
sweet.
love that sometimes I get
Cuddle
to
the
cuddle
babies.
babies. And that's
You
what a
don't-
lot of my
nice.
job is. That's why I did peds, guys.
Yeah.
So
Best
Cuddle the
point.
babies.
You don't pull the
No,
piss
they
out of
do
Jo
that
for
way.
wearing her scrubs.
Well, no,
Pull the
because
piss out of me.
because she's a doctor. and
This
works in a
one.
hospital.
I was looking up on Instagram because I wasn't sure if I had to wear Frio gear to this or not.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'll check what they wore last time. Seen the photo of Ari and yourself in the Frio gear, and this one in her pretty scrubs.
Yeah.
My sporty scrubs.
Sorry, sporty scrubs.
No, well,
Sorry.
so I was
They're brown,
given
you
a
bitch.
a bit of flack last week for wearing
Yeah,
her.
come
So actually, I
on.
actually made her wear them
Yours
so
were
that I
nice,
could make
though.
fun. No,
My green
but
ones, yeah.
my whole thing was, you're a doctor.
Yeah.
You work in a hospital.
Yeah.
You can wear scrubs.
We're going against the norm.
We're not talking.
against
Well, I'm
the
not
norm.
saying that your scrubs aren't nice. I'm
Yeah.
just saying you're a physio and you work in a random clinic, not a hospital.
Random.
They're sports,
Okay.
though. They're
Random,
sports.
yes.
What makes them
Least
sports
I work.
What are they?
Hey, how about that?
What are sports scrubs?
That's fucking heavy.
What does
You
that
deserve
even
that.
mean?
That's instant
Anyways,
karma.
I hope the mic's still working. It's just slammed it on my hard chin.
Hard shit,
Um,
big calves. What
But what do you?
scrubs?
What do you? Oh, I actually just want to add one more in. What's your favourite scrubs?
Oh, my
Colour.
green ones.
Your
My
green
I
ones?
love my green ones. 'cause
Do you have
everyone
like
always
Christmas
comes-
ones and stuff though?
I don't.
Oh,
Yeah, I need to
boring.
get some fun ones. I
Yeah.
don't have enough fun ones now. I wear like colourful lanyards and things like that, but I need to get some fun ones. My green ones are my favourite because everyone always comments that, do I wear them for Ireland? And the answer is obviously yes.
Yes, perfect.
All right, last one over here. Orla Lally has submitted this photo
Okay.
that we touched on. She said this photo is of myself and Joe back in the day when I was about 15 or 16 and she was 23 or 24. She couldn't get the ball off me.
It's not a question.
Lies.
But
That's lies.
I do like that last part. She
Yeah,
couldn't get the ball off
her.
me.
What? Come on.
Well,
You know
we
she
won
can
that
'cause
day.
she was holding
knows
you.
that.
yeah, she's holding
She's
me.
holding
It's
me.
illegal.
That's why she's
It's illegal.
yeah.
Well, how do you even get the ball off each other in
When
Gaelic?
someone goes to solo, you have to slap
Slap
out.
it,
So you
yeah,
have to
right.
time at every fourth step.
Looked
yeah.
like you're about to do that.
Probably
though.
was,
So
yeah.
I
So I
reckon you
think I
got
just
it.
did it after that.
I
Around
reckon
the
you
pitch
got
and
it.
squared a goal.
Perfect.
All right, so well, we spoke about this before, but we're 5-day break.
Yep.
So the rest of the week is kind of go from last week. We go into training Wednesday. We've got gym tonight. Training Wednesday. All week in Melbs. How good.
So
What are we
good.
expecting from Friday? Big turnaround.
Big game, big dub, big energy. Everyone's just going to be so excited, I guess,
Yeah.
to just go
Yeah.
back out there and I suppose just turn around
Show what we can do.
from the weekend and show what we can actually do. So I think the fact that it is only a short break, as you mentioned, Miller, is great because we don't need to ruminate on what has previously happened. We can actually go and put it into action.
Start again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, that's all we have time for this week on the Rollers and the Rockers podcast, brought to you by Bankwest. Joe, how was your podcast experience?
It was lovely.
Like you're just yourself. Look
You're
at you just
great.
lounging.
Yes.
You're
You've even
just-
got your leg up.
Worried
yeah.
about Drisco. Are you okay?
Yeah, I know.
How's the tummy?
We're okay.
You're okay.
We're
We're
okay.
okay. We're okay
Good.
together.
She's a doctor.
She's checking
always
here
in.
for
taking
us.
care of her,
She's
you
here
know?
for us.
She is.
Yeah. But no, guys, I'm on my holidays.
No, don't ask me
questions.
That's whenever
Don't
people
ask
ask me medical questions at training. I'm like, it's a Tuesday. I don't work Tuesdays.
Well, people still ask me physio questions,
Do
and I
they?
say I'm non-practicing. Thank you.
Non-practicing.
I'm a non-practicing physio. I'm glad you enjoyed your experience.
Thank you.
So you were great. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. As always, I'll leave you a Drisco to finish the pod with an inspiring quote. I thought you didn't have one, but you've got one. Did you just Google that real quick?
No, screenshot from yesterday. Alrighty. You can't shine like a diamond if you're not willing to get cut like a diamond.
That is.
Thanks, guys. See you later.